Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 2022 New Moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Sagittarius be affected by the March 2022 new moon? Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. All right, fantastic. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top is our emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Queen of Swords and we have the Emperor at our root. This is a very powerful time for us. The Queen of Swords is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Emperor is Aries energy, fire sign energy coming forward. So there's a real sense of I'm claiming the throne. There's also a real powerful masculine energy around us during this time. The Queen of Swords is the most masculine of the queens, and the Emperor is, of course, the eternal father of the tarot deck. So there's really strong energy of going after what it is that we want, seeing what it is that we desire, and absolutely being focused on where it is that we want to be. It moves us to our inner self, which is the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. The Two of Cups is a union, is a healing. This is the minor arcana Lovers card. There can be a sense of falling in love with life, falling in love with a person during this time, finding our passion, finding our joy, having the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves really coming into harmony. And then we have the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups brings the happily ever after. It brings the beauty. It brings the love. It brings the sense of peace, and it brings the sense of a job well done coming forward. It brings us then to our emotional self, which is the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. So the King of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Knight of Wands is us, Sagittarius, coming forward. We are represented by the Wands in the minor arcana. We are represented by Temperance in the major arcana. And this is very much a sense of going after what it is that we want, but also guarding our heart and guarding the power and the assurity and the prominence of our heart during this time. It moves us then to our inner selves, or not our inner selves, our public arena selves, and that is the Strength card, which is Leo energy, and the Nine of Wands. We are going to be moving forward in strength and in a tenacity that surprises us. Also, we're going to kind of have a partnership, a way of working with people that we hadn't expected here. We have to not listen to everybody's opinion. That's going to be really important during this time. We're going to be looking at things, listening to things, kind of sussing things out for ourselves. And this is a time where everybody's opinions are going to be coming at us. Everybody thinks they know exactly what to do to make our lives better or to make things run smoother. They have to deal with their life. We have to deal with ours. So that's going to be very important because we can be pulled in way too many directions during this time. Our energy to be mindful of is the moon. It's our own fear taking over. This is also fear mongers, people who want us to be terrified, who want to scare us, who want to, kind of stir up the emotions within us that make us uneasy on our own feet. This is also an imbalance of the subconscious and conscious self as we're moving forward. And so it can be here that inwardly we want one thing, but externally we're going after another because that's what we think we should be doing. So being mindful of that during this time, Sagittarius, is going to be very important. We then have our chakra energy. This is truth. This is the throat chakra, and this is speaking, this is embracing, this is being balanced by our truth. It doesn't mean that our truth won't change, that we won't see things we won't see things one way one day and then see them completely the opposite way another day. That's the part of being human. But walking in our truth, walking in the way that we are looking at understanding the world around us is going to be very powerful. And kind of having that balance, having people say, they're an upright, honest person. There's a power to their words and their integrity. That's powerful stuff right there. So let's talk about this new moon. This new moon is in Pisces, and Pisces here says meditate and contemplate. We also have to be mindful of Pisces energy because the moon represents Pisces in the major arcana. So we do have to be mindful of this moon during this time because it can bring a lot of energy forward, a lot of facing up fears. But Sagittarius, that's a power that we have to look at things, to see the truth, to see what we desire as we're moving forward. Now, with a new moon, it ends one cycle and it begins a new cycle, a new lunar cycle. And it also brings a burst of energy, insight, and intuition, as well as emotional balance. And we can definitely see that emotional balance coming into play in our inner selves. The really powerful thing about this new moon is that Jupiter is right next to the sun and the moon. It's conjunct the sun. And Jupiter and the sun play off each other beautifully. Jupiter is all about growth. The sun is all about the giver of life. And so here we have the growth of the life that is being given to us as we are seeing ourselves move forward in a new power, in a new prosperity. And this is even more important to us, Sagittarius, because we are ruled by Jupiter. There's also an air of passion and rebirth and love really coming forward. And what we have to realize about that passion is that passion can be a beautiful thing, but it is also something that can be destructive, right? Passion can turn to hate or obsession or war or whatever. So here we have to really lead with our heart. And that's coming in very strongly, again, in our inner selves. And that's why we're also protecting our heart so powerfully and so strongly during this time. There is also an energy here that connects us with Neptune. It brings harmony into our lives. It brings our dreams forward. It really has us looking at things. Neptune rules Pluto, right? So this is going to be very powerful for us during this time. This is going to be a very powerful energy that moves us forward. Neptune rules Pisces, and so this is a time where our dreams are really important. Bringing them to the earthly stage is going to be super important to us. Now, we also have to note that for everyone, there is an air around things. There is an air of... It's kind of like looking through really dense fog. There's something that is unclear. And as we're moving forward, we're confronting what has been unclear. And we have to be careful about the layers that we are kind of peeling off of things, what is being revealed to us. We're very plain spoken during this time. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, is very much to the point. And that is going to be us during this time. We're going to cut through a lot of nonsense. We can be seen as being harsh, as being overly blunt. That's a thing that the Queen of Swords is described as. The Queen of Swords can also be a malevolent queen, but I don't see her as malevolent. She is a queen who knows her mind and knows what she desires from life, and that's where she's heading. That's where she's going, what she's going after. She cuts through a lot of the negativity that holds her back, and that's going to be us during this time, cutting through a lot of the negativity that has held us back, knowing that we have earned our space and our place in this world, because the Queen of Swords practices. She is able to wield the sword, the only weapon within the tarot, with skill and with dominance. And that's how we're able to wield our minds, our voice, and how we want to move forward in our world, what we are skilled at in our world. It brings us to the Emperor. It brings us to claiming a throne, you claiming our power, knowing what it is that we desire, and absolutely honoring that tremendous power forward. This is a time where we say somebody has to lead the way. And in my life, it is going to be me. We're opening up doors. We're opening up opportunities to ourselves. We're changing what a lot of people think. And we are going to be seeing ourselves more and more gaining this authority of perspective, gaining this authority within our lives. We can also be having, some sort of assistance during this time from a person who's very much a paternal figure, very much even, and they don't have to be male. You can have that person that is like the mother, the father, kind of energy to them. They have both that energy to them. And that can be the energy that's coming forward here, where it's like, just do it, claim that throne, go after what it is that you want, don't be held back. And we're really entering into a time of unity, into a time of connection, into a time of healing and understanding and loving the path as we move forward in it. Now, with the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Cups is really quite beautiful. The 10 of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. Now, the really beautiful thing about this card that I love so much is that it reminds me of the Nordic saying, it is better to be king of a cottage than servant in a castle. And I think that if we remembered that more in our modern world, that it's not about having more and being in debt up to our eyeballs. It's having what brings us freedom, what brings us love, what brings us harmony, and moving forward, really ruling that. That's going to be a game changer. We also always think our lives have to be something just absolutely overwhelming, something that everybody would look at and be like, wow, I'm so jealous of you. Like, oh, I really would love to have that life. Envious, right? We want everybody to look at us and be envious. That seems to be our goal as human beings, not even in our modern world, just in history in general. And yet here it's saying, I don't care if you're envious of the world I live in or if you're not. I am living my best life. I'm embracing my happiness, because my happiness and your happiness might be very different things, but yet we still describe them as happiness, as joy, as bliss, as, why we're here on this earth. And that brings us to the King of Cups. The King of Cups knows I cannot rule everybody. That is why in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he's in the sea. He is on this little island all by himself in the sea. And so here, there is this sense of I rule, but I rule only me. I rule by example. I rule by, tenacity and determination and focus and insight. And I rule who I am. And others will follow or others will fall away. But that's not my problem. And it brings us then to the Knight of Wands. I am defending my heart. I'm defending, again, this masculine energy that is around us, this sense of determination and focus, this very much, I have a problem, I have a solution, this is what I'm going after, energy that's here. And it brings us to this place of fire, tenacity, insight, determination. It brings us to this place where we are really moving forward towards so much more than what we had expected. And as we do this, it brings strength into our lives. It makes us stronger in the public arena. People aren't going to see us as calm or as passive. They can see us as overworked, but they're also going to see that we come out of it. That we always come to the other side in a very strong, productive, dominant way. And so they're never really worried about us, which can be frustrating because we do have a lot on our plates. But there's this sense here of I have allies that I never expected to have. I'm moving forward in a way that I didn't think was possible. And as we do this, the 9 of Wands comes into play, and it's like, don't listen to everybody else. Listen to the people that, yes, have loving, good intentions at the heart of them. That's always helpful. But everybody's going to tell us how to make, chicken soup, right? And they're all going to be saying different things and contradicting each other. And then if we listen to everybody, the soup would be ruined and we'd have nothing to eat. So here it's like, be very mindful. Be very mindful of the energy that you're moving forward in. Be very mindful of what everybody is telling us and how everybody else is pulling us this way and that way, because we'll find that it'll come out physically. We'll have headaches, our body will be stiff, we'll be overwhelmed. So just be very aware of this. It moves us to our lunar selves. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself during this new moon. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at the bottom is our rooted lunar message, which says the full moon in Pisces, right? So at our root here, we're really moving towards that next cycle, which is in about, 2 weeks. We're going to see ourselves embracing the power that comes forward, right? And so here it says balance spirituality and practicality. That's going to be a huge part of us during this time, how to balance our spirit world and our waking world. That brings us power, that moves us to the full moon, that brings us power and insight. And that's what we are during this time. We're a very powerful, focused individual, moving ourselves forward to so much more than what we expected. It brings us then to our lunar, oh goodness, emotional self, which is nothing is yet set in stone, blossoming. Nothing is yet set in stone, and we are blossoming into the people that we were born to be, into a new phase of our own lives, what we desire, what we're seeking, what we're gaining an understanding of. Nothing is set in stone, and we have to tell ourselves that, because we can get a little bit, maudlin during this time. We can get a little bit, just a little bit blue and upset and overwhelmed with ourselves and pessimistic and think, oh my gosh, it's all set up. I don't have any say in this anyway. And we can have frustration really lead us forward. But Spirit's saying, no, 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 no. Nothing is set in stone. And we can change so much. We can rewrite so much. And that's going to be very powerful for us. It moves us then to our emotional self, which again has the full moon coming forward, which is very exciting for us for that next period, for that, spotlight being turned on. It says surrender to the divine and release. Release the control that we're trying to have. It's not being completely passive in our world, but it is saying, I cannot change everything. And so I move forward in this awareness of who I am, of where I'm going, of what's important to me, and I'm opening up that door. It brings us to our lunar public arena self. And it says a time of healing will you heal? Will you move forward in the power that the moon is giving us? Or will we be listening to everybody else's demands and statements and ways of doing things and forget ourselves along the way? Our subconscious lunar message, the new moon makes an appearance. It says a new start is coming. The new moon comes forward. Oh goodness, there we go. Trust in this new start, trust in this beauty, trust in this connection, because it is moving us in a way that we're just not expecting. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Ace of Cups. This is a gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. And we are absolutely taking it with the King of Cups right at our heart. And that's why we're defending our emotional self during this time, because we're going to be a bit emotionally vulnerable. There is a sense of a cleansing away of a lot of negative energy that we hold within us. There can be, an excess of tears during this time. We can feel overwhelmed. We can feel like we're not moving forward the right way because things are so emotional and we are feeling things so intensely. We have to not be so hard on ourselves. It moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Chariot. We need to be mindful of somebody coming in and just their emotions being chaotic and charging ahead with us. It's just like, this is the way you have to go. This is my emotional kind of like vomiting all over everything. And we have to be mindful of being caught up in that, because that's going to be very draining for us. It moves us then into our subconscious chakra message, which is self-mastery. We are falling into alignment of ourselves. We are starting to see ourselves with honor and with integrity and with determination and with focus. And that is opening up doors that have us seeing our skills, seeing our talents so much more powerfully than we have before. We're also aligning ourselves, feeling more in balance with ourselves, not being as chaotic as we once were. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let us end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and the intensity of this new moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius, and may you have a blessed moon.